Okay, guys, so I found some really interesting videos on TikTok stitching the Jeffrey Marsh. Now, anytime I try to post some on TikTok, of course, my videos get taken down for abusive behavior or hate. I'm not hate, I'm just stating facts. You want to call me a transphobic? Well, I'm going to call you a truthphobic. That's my new slang term for everybody that is so delusional that they literally say, well, I'm non binary or I'm a woman, when in fact you are a biological male. There's no such thing as non binary, and biology doesn't care about how you feel, by the way. You're either born a male or female, and in some instances, you're intersex. But those are very few and far between. We used to call those hermaphrodites back in the day, but anymore, you say anything remotely factual or AKA based, then you're attacked. Whatever. So I found a really amazing stitch, you guys, and I really want you to pay special close attention to this because just like Dylan Mulvaney, Jeffrey Marsh seems to think he can use tampons or get his period or get pregnant. I'm sorry, not sorry. The only way you're getting pregnant is if you have XX chromosomes and if you have the reproductive organs to do so. No way, shape, or form can a biological male ever, and I repeat this, no way, shape, or form can a biological man ever have a baby. So don't worry about periods. Don't worry about period cramps. If you have cramps, it's probably you're constipated. Don't worry about tampons because you definitely do not want to shove one of those up your urethra because that would be very painful. And what else? Yeah, babies. Yeah, don't. Where's it going to come out of, homie? When women give birth, our, hoo-has stretch to allow a watermelon-like size baby to come out. Could you imagine your urethra stretching out this big? Huh? Hence why women are such amazing creatures. We can do all that, and that just shrinks right back down to size. Just saying. Women are miraculous creatures. We could bleed for 7 days straight and survive. Who else do you know that can do that? Definitely not a man. I'll tell you what, in my experience of having to be a mother to my significant others, two of them, uh, you know, past SOs, by the way. Isn't that funny? Significant other has the same like acronym, the same initials as SO, like the registry people, not Pottery Barn. Yeah. In some instances, they are very offensive. Anyways, in my experience, it was like I had to take care of these men like they were my children. As soon as they get a cold, they're boo-hoo, wah-wah, cry, wah-wah, can't work, don't want to work. Excuse me, hiccups. All right, so I found this amazing TikTok today, and I want to show you. This is Sarah Fisher. She's got 20,000 followers. And this is what caught my attention. Real talk from a real practitioner. All right, you ready, guys? Look at this guy. He thinks well, he doesn't claim to be a man or a woman. I'm sorry, Jeffrey, but your beard and your Adam's apple, your voice, your bone structure, and probably your dingalang, telewaka, would give it away. Just saying.
And as someone who does not menstruate, I'm non binary, I don't menstruate.
Okay, real talk from a real practitioner. No, Jeffrey. The reason isn't that you do not menstruate is not because you're non-binary. It doesn't matter how you choose to dress. It doesn't matter who you choose to sleep with. It doesn't matter how you choose to identify. The reason you will never menstruate is because you are a biological male.
Ooh.
That keeps you from menstruating right there.
That keeps you from menstruating right there. You're not a biological woman. You're a biological male. Again, if you're experiencing cramps, then guess what? It's probably constipation or some type of indigestion. But you will never experience the period cramps because you don't have a uterus. The ovaries that you don't have, they shed their lining during menstruation. And we also, from our fallopian tubes, we have these things called eggs that our ovaries also produce. And then when the eggs are fertilized, the fertilized egg will travel up our fallopian tubes into our uterus, and then boom, the baby plants itself in the womb and it grows. A woman is so special because that is when motherhood officially begins. That's when life begins inside of us.
Right there. Everything else is unimportant, honestly. There are a lot of reasons why women sometimes cannot menstruate, right? There are.
Hang on. This is what I'm going to love right here because she's going to explain, because there are people defending this Looney Tunes saying, well, I'm a woman and I don't have a uterus anymore, or I had a hysterectomy, or I have menopause, or this, that, the other. No excuse to stick up for that, dog groomer. Yeah.
Medical conditions that keep women from menstruating. Women can have hysterectomies, which would keep them from menstruating. They can be postmenopausal, which would keep them from menstruating. They could be prepubescent, and that keeps them from menstruating.
Mm-hmm.
But there's only one real reason why men won't menstruate. It's because they're men. They're biological men. They don't have ovaries. They don't have uterus. They don't have the hormone profile. They're men. So, Jeffrey, just to kind of wrap it up, you won't ever menstruate because you're a dude. Okay? So there's that.
And as someone who does not menstruate,
Absolutely beautifully stated. You'll never have to menstruate, Dylan Mulvaney. You'll never have to menstruate and worry about a period or those tampons. That Tampax 100% did a sponsorship deal with Jeffrey Marsh and Dylan Mulvaney. Ain't that something? Let's see what other stitches we could find on the Jeffrey Marsh. Yeah. Oh, yes. Now, the trans community is like, no, Jeffrey. I found one in particular who is a trans ally. Now, I don't have a problem with trans people. People who have that completely and utterly twisted. The only time I have a problem is when you come after us women and calling us TERFs because we're biological women. You're calling us cisgender. And then the big problem I have is when you try to, prepare kids for separation from their parents or hiding this kind of thing from their parents. Because best believe there are parents out there that are understanding and loving and know their child better than you. Just saying. All right, I found this one, and I got one more that I want to show you guys. This one here is pretty brilliant. All right. I can't even stand looking at this guy. That's my thumbnail. Oh my God, such an ugly mug.
If you need a family, you can come hang out with me.
You are not a licensed counselor or a licensed therapist.
Now, there's a lot of Jeffrey Marsh supporters out there that will say, but Jeffrey, they are a life coach. They are a therapist. Because Jeffrey goes by the pronouns they, them. Pronouns are stupid. I'm just going to say it outright. See, I'm a biological woman. Do you think ever once I had to have anybody affirm my gender to me? No. I never had to tell my mom, you better call me a she. Am I a girl or am I a woman? That never once came up in almost 43 years on this earth. Never once did I go and demand somebody call me by a preferred pronoun. I prefer you take a jump in a lake. You cannot actually expect people to call you by a preferred made up language, that is fascist as hell. That's being a fascist. You're literally changing the definition of the whole English language just to fit your delusion. Okay, back to the people that are supporting Jeffrey Marsh. I clearly am not one of them. They support him and say, but he's a licensed therapist, he's a life coach, blah, blah, blah. Well, I could literally go online and become a minister, and I could say, what? Oh, I'm a minister. I could minister you into a better life. Or, better yet, I'm a minister. Fill my pockets. 20% of your salary, please. This guy here hits it right on the head. Hits the nail right on the head.
You have a bachelor's of fine art in musical theater, I believe. You are not qualified to provide people with counseling and help them through trauma. Right? You are trying to sell yourself as a life coach. I checked your page, and there is no mention whatsoever of any legitimate credentials for you providing this service. It is 100% you trying to just capitalize on your TikTok audience.
Great point. Jeffrey also tells kids to come to his Patreon. Jeffrey is also on YouTube Kids. Did you know that? He sure is. He 100% is on YouTube Kids. So, parents, please, I strongly recommend, do not let your children be on social media. No YouTube Kids, no Disney, no Facebook, no TikTok, no Instagram, no Snapchat, nada. I don't care if your kid says, I need Snapchat for school. Well, tough. Or, guess what? I'm going to have it on my phone, and you're going to use it right in front of me. Because it literally takes an online predator that fast to entice your children. And Jeffrey did just that. He said, kids, come to my Patreon, and you don't even want to know. Jeffrey on his Patreon talks about gay sex with his boyfriend on that Patreon. Hi, kids. All of his videos. And then he deleted a bunch of them. And we'll get to the whole Shemba Nessa, the Overload comedy ordeal in a bit. I like what this kid has to say, though.
You mentioned that you're a Zen Buddhist. Now,
Wait a minute. Telling your followers how great they are for attacking Shemba Nessa and telling her to get stuffed, that's not very Zen or Buddhist-like. I just had to point that one out.
I love Buddhism, but I see myself more as a Taoist, but that's neither here nor there. But our personal philosophies do not qualify either of us in providing counseling to people and help them work through childhood trauma.
I like what this kid has to say, man. He's right.
I have been trying my best to defend you as much as I can on a lot of the things that you are doing. I have done my best to stop people from just making wild accusations about you. And I do not believe them. I do wholeheartedly believe that you want to be a good person, but I wholeheartedly believe that you are not aware of the optics of your actions.
This is where I disagree with this person, because Jeffrey knows exactly what he's doing. He's going to come on TikTok and claim that he is doing a podcast with Dylan Mulvaney, and Alta sponsored them, which is honestly true, to do a podcast about girlhood. They both knew that people would be talking about this and clapping back and saying, you're men. You shouldn't be talking about those things. Jeffrey Marsh and Dylan Mulvaney both knew that if they said we have sponsorship deals with Tampax or tampons, that we would come out the woodwork, stitch the videos. Sorry. You see what happens when I talk about Dylan Mulvaney and Jeffrey Marsh? Ugh. My Starbucks literally came back up. This is how infuriating this is to me. But they knew exactly what they were doing. They knew they'd get the stitches, the duets, and they would have everybody talking about them. Smart move. So I think they are very calculated in what they're doing. I think they know exactly what they're doing. Capitalize. They're capitalizing off of it, and it's really sad. Because at whose expense are they capitalizing? They're confusing more kids out there that normally go through that trans phase or tomboy phase and grow out of it. They're retarding that for kids. They are. They're making these kids stick into these phases thinking that that's the cure-all, the end-all. This is what we are supposed to be. We're not supposed to go through phases and grow out of them. Oh no, let's retard that and keep us here, trapped in this mass delusion. Hence why we have so many trans kids killing themselves. So many trans people killing themselves. At the expense of women, our safe spaces. First the locker rooms, the bathrooms, then prisons? We can't even commit crimes and go to prison anymore and be safe away from men. You see what this has caused? This is a lot bigger than people think. And sticking up for this and speaking the truth is not hate. I don't care what you want to say to justify it. You're only seeing all these trigger words, and you're going to call me a TERF. You're going to say I'm a bigot. I'm hateful, but in all actuality, I'm just pointing out the truth. As a woman, as a mother, and as somebody who is 100% loves to live in Realityville and has struggled with mental health issues my whole life, who was once a victim of sexual assault. Guess what? I can speak my mind. I'm allowed to. My feelings, my opinions are valid, just as valid as yours. So I 100% have the credentials to talk about this. My experiences are mine. And those nasty words, TERFs and cis and all this, that, and the other. This is how Dylan Mulvaney, Jeffrey Marsh, and others like them groom people into attacking other people when they don't go along with that narrative. 90% of the kids who are transgender grow out of it. 90. We're going to see a transgender react to Jeffrey Marsh here in a second. But I like what this kid has to say, but I only disagree with him on this part. Jeffrey and Dylan both know what the hell they are doing.
They're just not. Proper counseling isn't done through Patreon subscriptions.
We're back on the same page, kid.
It is so woefully unethical to solicit clients through TikTok. And I'm not even going to touch on the fact that you know damn well that you have a huge following of youth.
Yep.
And for you to then ask for people, and you might try to frame it as that you're going for adults, and you may have had that intention, but you know damn well what the optics of what you are doing looks like. You have to have seen that, or have to have seen it by now.
He knows. He knows, because how else is he going to get all these parents talking about him? Go after their children, of course. But as a mother, as somebody who's been through a very traumatic childhood, I don't wish that on anybody. I want people to thrive and be happy, not be in this world of hurt and disassociation with reality.
I'm sorry, Jeffrey, but you are not helping the cause by carrying on the way that you have been carrying on. I just need to say that to you. I just have to say it to you.
He don't care, baby. He does not care. Jeffrey Marsh does not give one solitary crap about anybody but himself. If you're non-binary, why are you posting on your Patreon about gay sex? Gay sex is between a man and a woman and a woman. So why are you posting about gay sex on your Patreon? I just want to know. Wouldn't it just say sex? No, you have to specifically label it as gay sex. All right, here's a transgender who's speaking out when Jeffrey Marsh made a video saying biology is fake. And a lot of these transgender, non-binaries of TikTok make these false claims. Something that we've all grown up to know. Science. Biology is older than all of us here today. Every one of us, I don't care how you identify, when we die, archaeologists 300, 3,000, 10,000 years from today, or after the date of death, can dig us up and tell whether we are male or female. They can even tell from a female if she's given birth or not. How about them apples? Your DNA does not lie either. So here's a transgender.
Biological sex is
And Jeffrey Marsh declaring that biological sex is fake. Look he knows what he's doing. He knows he's going to get people stitching his videos and creating controversy because guess what controversy gets? Clicks.
biological sex is fake.
What in the McFucky you going on about? What is happening? I'm a trans man. Yeah, cool, sick. Biologically, I'm female. I can't change.
And I love this kid right here. First of all, looking like Justin Bieber's. I'm just saying. Good looking kid here. And I do feel bad for the real trans kids out there who are struggling internally with finding who they are. Here's what I'm going to say. Live like that for a long time. 10 plus years before you go making a decision. A life-altering one, like taking hormones or puberty blockers, having surgeries that are not undoable. That's forever, baby. Make sure you are making the right decision. Also, wait, because you might grow out of that. You might not, and that's okay. But this is what I like about this kid right here, man. This kid tells truths. Truth bombs.
Trans man. Yeah, cool, sick. Biologically, I'm female. I can't change that. That's biology. It's science. You can't change the facts. I am never going to be able to change my chromosomes. I can medically transition like I'm currently doing now. I've had my top surgery. I'm in line for my bottom surgery. I'm on hormones. Brill. That doesn't change my biology. So why do you feel so necessary to spew this bullshit? This is literally one of the reasons why trans people have really bad reputations. Biology is literally a part of your anatomy. If I agree with your narrative and say biology is fake, then why the fuck am I trans? So it's fake, so surely I can just do what I want. That's just not how it works. Facts are facts and science is science. Like, I don't even know where you were going with that. Trans people know that we can't change our biology. That is it. We have the biology of the gender that we was assigned at birth. Obviously, we feel differently. But we're self-aware enough to know that we can't change the facts, which is our biology, which isn't fake.
I love that. I love this kid so much so that I absolutely followed him today. And I'm going to say him because he's respectful. I call Blair White a she. Namely, I call them by their first names because sometimes, you know, if you call these trans a he or a she, you get attacked. Why wouldn't I respect somebody that states the truth? Buck Angel does. Caitlyn Jenner does. Blair White. This guy, whoa, it's Parker. No, I will never respect people like this because they are a couple of fries short of a Happy Meal. Not the sharpest tool in the shed, not the brightest crayon in the box. Women don't dress up like this. We don't wear makeup like this. This is Mimi from Drew Carey. My goodness. All right, I got one more. And I want to show this is just okay. We're going to talk about the Jeffrey Marsh overload comedy.
Stop telling kids to go.
This is sad because this lady was attacked relentlessly. Yeah, this one here we're not going to show because this one is, of course, one of those people. See, they don't allow the people to have facts on the videos, but they will 100% allow people that are in support of Jeffrey Marsh.
And as someone who
This one here is definitely one of those people that are not.
does not menstruate, I'm non-binary, I don't menstruate.
Well, that'll do it. That'll do it. I'm done. You don't menstruate because you're a man, not because you're non-binary. I am a woman, not a cisgender woman. You get that you're mansplaining, right? I've never been against the trans community, but what I am against, I'm tired of women just getting shafted with this. We are not a joke. Our menstrual cycles, our endometriosis,
Ouch.
our menopause.
What about getting a scare with a mammogram, it coming up abnormal? Then you have to go in for a second one, and that one coming up abnormal. And then you're told, honey, we got to take you to ultrasound next. Having 2 children, being their only parent, guess what? Your heart sinks into your chest and you feel a pit in the bottom of your stomach. Impending doom like an MFer. Thankfully, it was a lymph node. These men will never experience something like that. Or you're going in for a pap smear and you find out you have cervical cancer. What about that? What about, wait a second. My first son's, the pregnancy, the labor and delivery, 18 and a half hours of hard labor. I was bleeding so bad, I almost died. Thankfully, they were able to stop the bleeding and everything was okay. My sister-in-law, though, my beautiful sister-in-law, the same thing happened to her. Unfortunately, it was either give her an immediate emergency hysterectomy or she was going to die. And now she can't have any more kids. A man will never experience the pain of that. Yeah, it's mansplaining like a MFer. I can't have my period because I'm non-binary. Pfft, please. I'm sick. I'm sick to death of these men claiming that they can be women, claiming that can come into our safe spaces. Hell no, we're not standing for it anymore. Best believe there are women out here that will stick up and stand up against you coming into our safe spaces. It is not a joke. Womanhood is not something that you're capable of taking. It's not yours to begin with. We don't care if you want to exist. That's where you get shit twisted. Oh, they just want trans genocide. They just want to kill us all. No. You can exist all you want to. Be you. But don't be you and take away from us. You're infringing on our rights. It is at our expense that because you feel like a woman, or not like anything at all. If you're non-binary, what does that say? Well, you might as well go to the bathroom in the middle of the woods because you're saying you don't identify with either sex. I don't understand this lunacy anymore. Nor will I tolerate any hatred towards people like me that have myself had a bad experience in a bathroom with a transgender or on what is that, autogonophilia? Yeah. That was not a fun experience. I'll tell you the story after this.
This is all real. It's science, my guy. X and Y chromosomes. We're talking science. This is outrageous and infuriating and insulting. So a person who is transitioning is female and I have to take the cisgender role. Absolutely not. Here's what I
100.
am. I am a woman. Period. That's all. We're done.
And as someone who does
Absolutely. Your term cisgender was coined by, what is it, Marsh or something? He was a German sexologist who was pro-pedophilia. Yeah. Yeah. Sure was. And Alfred Kinsley. Yeah, he experimented and sexually abused children. And documented it, too. So those are your gurus, I guess. All right, guys, that does it for me today. I can't talk about Jeffrey Marsh no more. He makes me sick. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you leave some comments down below. Take care now. Love yourself, okay? Don't stand for this shit. See ya.